Hello, my name's Kate, and I'm glad to see you in the second part of the Unit 5. What's on TV this weekend? In this lesson, we're going to learn about structures we possibly use in the theme media and entertainment. By the end of this lesson, you have the answers for the following questions. First, let's watch this short dialogue.
Hey, would you like to go to the cinema with us tonight? Sarah will also come.
I'd love to, but I'm going to have an exam. So tonight I have to revise for it.
When will the exam be?
It's going to be next Tuesday.
Don't worry, I'm going to have an exam next week too. We can revise in groups. We'll help you with that.
All right. What time shall we leave for the cinema then?
The conversation is about a boy asking a girl to go to the cinema with him. You can see that there are quite a lot of be going to and will in this conversation. So what is the purpose of each? Stay tuned. Let's have a look at the first sentence. So the boy mentions a future event in which Sarah comes. He doesn't know if anything happened that makes she can't come. So he used will. For the second sentence, the girl plans to revise for her exam. When she mentions her upcoming exam, she used be going to. For the third sentence, the boy doesn't know when the girl has the exam, so he used will. For the fourth sentence, the girl knows the schedule of her exam, so she used be going to. And for the fifth sentence, the boy also knows his schedule for the exam, so he also used be going to. For the sixth sentence, before the boy met the girl, he didn't plan to help. Only after she mentioned it, he had that idea, so he used will. To talk about future plans, it is correct to use be going to and will, but the two ways are slightly different. When we talk about things we have decided or planned, we should use be going to. And when we talk about things that are certain or decisions made at the moment of speaking, we should use will. Let's pause the video for a while and try this exercise. Let's see how many correct answers you have. Number 1, is going to join. So let's have a look at the clue. So the girl always dreams to become a member of the music club. She has thought of it and she has planned for it. So what should we use here? Is going to, right? For number 2, so this person only asked for the information of the event while he doesn't have any kind of intentions or plans. So here's your answer. For number 3, the answer is will be, because there's no announcement yet, which means there's no plan. It will happen, but not 100% likely. Number 4, she is going to play tennis tomorrow. She has waited, which means she has the intentions. So the correct answer here is going to play. For number 5, so there's no decision made at the moment of speaking, so we use will have. For number 6, we use will know, because it's a guess based on personal experience. Number 7, we're asking about plans, so we're going to use are going. Number 8, Mike is reminded to bring something for a plan, so we're going to use are going to or are going to go. So we've learned how to use be going to and will when talking about future plans. So what about things that we can't plan but can just predict, such as weather? Let's look at this conversation. When we talk about predictions, we use will and be going to. But do you know the difference between these two phrases? Let's have a look at this sentence. Look at the clouds. It's going to rain. So, the boy looks at the clouds and he predicts that it's going to rain. You see, he has obvious evidence. Look at the other. It will, I guess. So this time, the boy doesn't base on anything to predict. He simply makes a guess based on his common knowledge that it's often rain in July. Let's get back to the theme movie and look at these two sentences. The theater is going to reopen tonight. They will have special discounts for this occasion. In this scenario, the theater is going to reopen tonight. So it's a scheduled event. So we use is going to. And then, based on common experience, the theater did that before. So the speaker make a guess that it will happen again. So they use will. So, what can we guess from these examples? With will, we predict what we think or guess will happen. But with be going to, we predict what we know exactly will happen. So, the following sentences have been scrambled. Let's unscramble them to review how to write sentences with will and be going to. So, here are the 7 sentences, unscrambled. Please check to make sure that all the words are in their correct place. As a reminder, note that 1, 3, and 7 tell us that the speaker has evidence because be going to is used, while 2, 4, 5, 6 are simply guesses with no evidence, so we use will. Have you ever wondered why the word will and shall look and function similarly? In fact, shall could be used as will if the pronoun is I or we. But that's traditional way. Modern English allows us to use will with every subject. You might wonder what to do with shall. Let's have a look at this example. Imagine you're walking on the street and there's an old lady carrying a very heavy suitcase. You want to help that lady, so you will ask, "Shall I carry your suitcase?" And imagine you're in a room and you want to open the window for some fresh air, but you're not the only one in the room, so you will ask, "Shall I open the window?" That's all for offered. How about suggestions? Imagine you're at home and you're bored and you want to ask your friend out for a picnic. You should ask, "Shall we go for a picnic?" And imagine you and your friends are walking on the street and you see your idol. You make a suggestion. "Shall we ask him to take a photograph with us?" It's practice time. Let's have a look and unscramble to make these sentences. You have 2 minutes. Alright, that was 2 minutes. Here are the sentences in their original forms. Please check to make sure all the words are in their correct place. Remember, shall I is always for offering help. So that's number 3 and 5. While shall we is for a suggestion. So that number 1, 2, and 4. So, We've talked about our plans, our predictions, our suggestions, about our favorite movies and concerts. So let's say we go and see these shows. Some of them are fantastic, while some of them are not so great. So how can we talk about our opinions or feelings about a movie, a concert, or a show in English? Look at this man. He's watching something on YouTube, but he's yawning. Looks like it's boring and he wants to go to sleep because he's bored. Wait, aren't the words bored and boring are the same? Why are they used in two different ways? Let's find out. Let's look at these examples one by one. The boy is bored. The film is boring. In this case, the word bored describes the boy's feeling, while the word boring describes the film. She is tired. Tired here also describes the girl's feeling for the trip. The trip is very tiring. Tiring here because the trip is the reason for the girl's feeling. I'm disappointed with how the film ended. Disappointed here describes the feeling of the speaker. The film's ending is disappointing. Disappointing here describes the film's ending, that therefore it makes the speaker disappointed too. To draw a conclusion, we use adjectives that end in ed to describe emotions or feeling, to tell how we feel. Adjectives that end in ing to describe the thing that causes the emotion or feeling. Next, we're going to have some exercise to practice. First, let's put these sentences into two groups. In the first group, the adjectives describe people's feeling. In the second group, the adjective describe a thing or event. Speaking of describing people's feeling, we have these sentences: 2, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Speaking of describing things or events, we have these sentences: 1, 4, 5, 7, and 9. We can see that all the needed adjectives are to describe people's feeling. So the adjectives should end with ed. We can see that all the needed adjectives are to describe a thing or an event. Sometimes it's at the end of the sentence, and sometimes it's at the beginning of the sentence. No matter where it appears in a sentence, if it's meant to describe a thing or event that causes the emotion, we need to use adjectives that end in ing. So, let's grab up what we've learned today. Read this email and choose the correct words to fill in. Please bear in mind that there is one extra word. I'll leave you some minutes to do that. Now, it's time to check the answers. Number 1, I'm so blank right now. It's a feeling. Here it's I'm so it's either excited or surprised. Now, we read the next sentence. Anna's school has a day off. She feels surprised or excited about it. I think excited makes more sense here. Number 2, all students blank have a day off next Monday. So it's very clear information about the future. Therefore, it should be are going to. Number 3, for this long weekend, Mom has just decided that our family blank travel to the beach. Again, very clear plan for the future. So the answer should be is going to. Number 4, I think it blank be an exciting trip. So we need a verb here. Anna hasn't started the trip yet. She's just guessing. So it should be will. This is similar to number 3 and number 4, where a plan for the future is very clear. Therefore, it should be is going to. Number 6. This is similar to number 1, a feeling, and it's Anna's feeling. So it should be surprised. The next sentence confirms this choice because Shy Michael has decided to sing in public. Number 7. Here's a question, and the word behind the blank is we, so it should be shall. Number 8. Finally, this is similar to number 4. It's a guess about a future event again, so it's will. Now, let's answer the question at the beginning of this lesson. Number 1, we use will when we're talking about future plans that are certain to happen or we've just decided at the moment of speaking. We use be going to when we're talking about future plans that we have decided or prepared already. Number 2, we use will to predict something that will happen, but we're not so sure. We use be going to talk about things that will happen based on evidence or what we see. Number 3, we use shall we or shall I to make suggestions or offers. Number 4, we use adjectives that end in ed to talk about how we feel. And we use adjectives that end in ing to talk about things that make us feel that way. That wraps up our lesson today.